Welcome back, NoMansSky builders. In our last two videos, we covered everything from sourcing parts and materials to mastering the fundamentals of constructions. But now, it's time to take your skills to the next level. Ready to go from novice on your way to expert? GoodGuysFree here. Let's get started. This is the third video in the series, Building 201 Part 1. Part 2 will be out soon too. Basic structure, floors, walls, doors, windows, ceilings and roofs, multiple floors, landing pads, lighting, electrics, paving. Whoa! GoodGuysFree here to help. This video is long, but keep watching and you'll be fine. Just started? Struggling to build the first shelter? You want to play, not build. Come on, why spend hours on building some big place? Well, I guess the first advice is this: always plan for something big. Build small, plan large. In today's game, you can change your settings so building is free, and you can always return the setting later. So you found a nice place to build a base and pulled out your terrain manipulator to flat out some space. Everyone wants to build on a nice flat surface, right? Here's the thing: terrain adjustment has a limit. Once you pass this, the terrain will regenerate growing over your build. So first things first, what are you building? What is the purpose of the build? There are so many options. A resource mine? Maybe a plant farm? Maybe an animal farm? How about a portal base? Why do you need one? Some people build nanite farms. Say what? Maybe you're building a base just for fun, to show off. But where to build? What are the limitations? Can't build an animal farm on an airless planet or an activated indium mine on a paradise planet. Want to add some features to your settlement like short-range teleporters, galactic trade terminals, etc.? Mountainous, stormy planets pose unique challenges, as do underwater bases. I'll touch on all of these. Let's get started. The very basic part of building a base was covered in the previous video, but here's the gist of it. Choose a place, select timber, stone or alloy parts, and start laying down floor tiles for your base. I'd like to recommend you to build your walls from two panels, one on top of the other. One place where it is critical is when you have short-range teleporters. If the roof above them is low, then when you teleport to them, you'll find yourself on the top floor or on the roof. Also notice the contextual parts. That means that this part has several different options. There's a key that you can press to open this as a submenu. Find Base Part Editing and look for Modify Placed Part. If I press X, now you see there are 4 different timber walls. If you use the timber wall that has the 2 yellow lines, then the first one you put will be a base. The second one will be a top. Now, if I add another one, immediately it becomes the top. If you want to control it, all you have to do is you press X, and that expands the list, and you can now select and place whichever one you want. All material types have a set of extruded parts, which is a decorative protrusion. All have an additional corner part which was notoriously hard to snap into place. See my short on this on your screen now. Each of the 3 material categories has a door, a doorway, and a frontage, as well as an extruded door. Doors and extruded doors are full width, with the door in the middle. You wish you could use a half ramp, but that snaps on the side, so you need to use a full ramp or use glitch techniques, which I will explain in the next video. Doorways are intended for use inside the base, but nothing prevents you from using them outside. They're half width, so they will snap on one side of the floor panel, and a half ramp will be great. Frontages, on the other hand, only work well when they lead to another floor panel or a full ramp, because the door is not in the middle and not on the side. Windows are nice, serving both to give an authentic feeling and to let in more light. I love the large timber triple window part. It gives a beautiful full-height glass panel. Timber is the only material that has this. Other material types have smaller windows. Be aware that large stone windows are simply openings in the wall. If you stand close to the window during a storm, you will not be protected. You'll have to move further inwards of the structure. Building a 2-story base requires good planning. Place your staircase and use triangular parts to cover the sides. Another issue is that there is no proper way to create a railing on the sides of the staircase. What about roofs? Everybody wants a roof, right? When I started playing, I didn't realize at first you can use any flat panel for a roof. Not only parts specifically made to be a roof, I recommend glass panels. A glass panel has the benefit of letting light in during day hours, giving you great lighting in your base, especially in early game when you don't have access to electric power and can't properly add lighting. Glass panels are very helpful. Notice that other roof types cause the inside ceiling to be uneven. Some roofing has an underside that looks like the middle of it is higher than the sides, but if you build a light on it, it will float. The solution is using flat panels for ceiling, adding a short wall to hide the underside of the roofing part, giving you an even surface inside to hang light fixtures and the roof shape you want outside. So you want a landing pad? Yeah, you do. Otherwise you get your ship clipping into all kinds of parts of your base. Makes for a lot of fun, but also annoying. Well, there are two basic landing pads, a regular one and an alternative. The regular has some advantages over the alternative and one disadvantage. Landing pads cost 10 metal plating, 2 microprocessors, and 2 ion batteries. The regular one can snap onto different parts, doors, prefabs, etc. When it snaps, it creates a nice extra area leading to the pad, which integrates nicely. The alternative one is much nicer looking, but doesn't snap. You need to manually position it, which can be a hassle, and preferably place it on a paved surface. In the masterclass, I'll show how to force it to a specific orientation. One thing I like to do is place 4 landing lights on the corners and connect them to a system to automatically turn them on or off, like the one in the link above. Before we go into lighting and stuff, we will need power. Power comes from one of 3 pieces of technology: a biofuel reactor, a solar array, or an electromagnetic generator. Biofuel reactors are simple, but you will need to refuel them every now and then. Solar arrays are fine, but they give no power at night, so you will need batteries. The NMS Assistant app has a calculator tool to help you calculate how many solar panels and how many batteries you will need. Electromagnetic generators are excellent, but you must build your base close to a power hotspot. I link in the description to a video on finding those. If you choose solar panels, you could hide them like I show in this short. Make a hole in the ground, place the panels and batteries, and attach a wire to reach outside. Plan ahead and prepare this before building the rest of your base, before you reach the terrain modification limit. I'd like to create a wire frame in wall length segments around the building I'm creating, to make it easy later to pull wires everywhere. Doesn't take long, doesn't cost anything, makes life easier. We'll get back to power a bit later in the video. Lighting. It's a sore subject, especially in early game because you don't have too many parts yet, and the default lighting inside bases is, well, terrible. So what can you do? Build windows, use glass panel floors as roof, and start with lanterns. It's one of the first things you get. Super useful, costs only 5 sodium to build and lasts forever. My early bases were literally littered with them. Yeah, I did say literally littered. Later on, you get blueprints for light fixtures. Of course, you need a power source and wiring. It's not the lighting we wish for, but it's a great improvement, and you can see the wire framework makes it easy to add lights. Ceiling lights used to be notoriously hard to connect to power. This has been solved. Tube lights have always been nice, but neither produces the amount of lighting you expect. And then we have emergency lights and standing lampposts. Emergency lights need no power, which is cool, but they feel like they are there for show, not to actually produce a lot of light. Standing light posts are the same, not producing so much light. The best lighting? Candelabra Bloom. Costs 500 Quicksilver to unlock in the Anomalies Quicksilver Companion, and 80 cytophosphate to build, but they provide tons of light, and you can scale them down pretty small without losing light intensity. Let's get back to power. In early game, you usually have only a biofuel reactor, so before you can start singing, you need to get the parts, usually by using salvaged data, which you can dig up from planets using the terrain manipulator. Power parts include the wire, which costs nothing, the biofuel reactor, which you get for free as part of one of the quest lines pretty early, and then there are solar collectors, batteries, and EM generators. As mentioned before, using solar means you must add batteries, and many people like to hide their solar farms. To use EM generators, you need to select a location near an EM hotspot, and place several generators in close proximity to each other, wiring them and pulling a wire to your base. Only one of these will be at the point of peak production for the hotspot, of course. But you can build an elevated platform like here, so they're all above the same point. Yes, the hotspot works the same, no matter how high above it you build the generator. If you happen to reach over the base limit when pulling wire to the EM hotspot, you can move back a bit, find the farthest point, and place a vertical wall, which will create a small area of base extension. Now place the wire on the wall, and then attach a new wire from there. I'll link in the description for videos showing how to extend your base. It's a pity there's no wind generator part. Could have been useful. You can use an electrical cloaking unit to hide all wires. I like to hide it in the same hole where the solar farm is hidden. Or you can use prefab parts, since they automatically supply power to anything built inside them. Of course, there's creative mode, which lets you choose a mode where power is free to the entire base. Prefabs are divided into 3 categories. Regular, including the square room, cylindrical room, and a set of corridors, straight and curved, opaque, or glass roofed. The underwater category has a deep water chamber, cylindrical, a square deep water chamber, and a glass version of the corridors, except there's no curved version. Oh, but there's a vertical glass tunnel part too. The last category is cuboids. This includes a cuboid room, a glass cuboid room, a cube, a curved wall, a glass curved roof, a roof cap, as well as foundations, floorings, walls, and a doorway. All of these parts attach nicely to each other at specific points, and all provide power to whatever you put inside. Cuboids have a neat feature. When you snap 2 of them together, the dividing wall or floor disappears. If you make a 2x2x2 from cuboids, you can enter the room, and it looks like one large space. Notice that prefabs and cuboids have interesting foundation parts that can help make things look realistic. This is the end of part 1 of this video. In the next part, we will cover part snapping, paving and electrics, and we'll discuss resource mine bases, plant and animal farms, portal bases, nanite farms, and we'll touch on freighter bases, underwater bases, and showcase bases. That's it for now. GoodGuysFree here, and I'll see you again soon.